I took a job digging a hole in the mountains. Now I can't stop coughing up black dust. Part 7 by Lex Kennedy. Jim shoved Koke back as the rifle went off. The bullet didn't hit anyone. It punched through the rotted floorboards between them and kept going, hitting the hollow space beneath, old mining tunnels from some previous abandoned operation. The ground wasn't solid. It never was. A deep, grinding rumble, not the mountain responding, just physics. The earth gave way. The sinkhole opened like a mouth, swallowing the shack in seconds. Timber screaming, glass shattering, the world tilting sideways as the floor became a slope, became nothing. Joseph and Carly backpedaled like fucking gazelles. Plato, right beside them, face blank, jogging like he was late for a Zoom call. Jim bounced off the rim, alive, but looking punched. The hostages' zip ties popped. They bolted into the trees, white tails flashing. Koke and I dropped into the darkness. 15 feet, tops. But it felt like the whole damn mountain filled my mouth with dirt, splinters, rot, everything. I hit the slope hard enough to knock the wind out of me, and slid another few feet through loose dirt before coming to rest against something that might have been a wall or might have been debris. Silence. Ringing ears. Dust everywhere. I tried to move. Everything hurt, but nothing felt broken. My phone was still good, besides a crack. My flashlight was broken. The only light came from above. A jagged hole maybe 20 feet up, grey sky visible through the settling dust. Then I heard a wet, laboured breathing nearby. I crawled towards it, hands finding fabric, then warmth, then blood. A lot of blood. Koke? A massive support beam had come down on his legs and lower torso. He was pinned, bleeding, breathing in shallow wet gasps that meant internal damage. In the faint light filtering from above, I could see his face. The professional mask was gone. He just looked scared and tired. "Check the beam," he managed, voice weak, almost conversational. "Can you move it?" I tried, put my back into it. It didn't budge even slightly. It would take 4 men and equipment we didn't have. "Figures," he said. Above us, I heard voices. Joseph's, calm and clinical. Carly's, taking notes. Then Joseph's again, louder, calling down into the hole. "Koke! Respond!" Koke tried to answer, but only managed a wet cough. Joseph's voice continued, not waiting for a reply. "Structural failure. Site is compromised." Carly lagged. "Containment breach. 2 personnel unaccounted for. Extract salvageable materials and close the site." "Equipment priorities?" Carly's voice. "Briefcase and Plato. Everything else is secondary." I heard footsteps retreating. The murmur of a satellite phone call. Words like cleanup crew and 2 hours and acceptable loss. They weren't coming down. They were writing us off. We sat in the dark. Minutes passed. Koke's breathing got worse. More liquid, more laboured. He was drowning slowly from the inside. "This is worse than the islands," he said suddenly, voice distant. "What?" "Palulu, Iwo Jima. I was a CB. The airstrips where the mortars fell. Most boys my age get cut in half, drowned in the surf." He coughed blood. "Thought I'd seen the worst men could do, but at least that had a reason. A flag. An enemy you could see." I stared at him. "How old are you?" 101. Born 1924. The number didn't make sense until it did. Until I remembered Plato's transformation, Ray's drowning, the stones. After the war, I had nothing. Koke continued, his voice flat with confession. No job. No prospects. Got hired by a geological survey company in '53. First sight was West Virginia, old coal country, already dying. First day down, found one of the stones. Smooth, black, warm. Slipped it in my pocket. He paused, struggling for breath. That night, I felt it. Strength, clarity. The shrapnel pain in my leg disappeared. I worked 3 shifts without sleeping. Didn't feel tired. By the end of the week, I looked 10 years younger. By the end of the month, I was foreman. Stone had done to him what it was doing to Plato, what Jim was so addicted to. The company offered me permanent work. Site supervisor, multiple locations, competitive salary, and benefits. He laughed, wet and bitter. 70 years, dozens of sites, hundreds of men cycled through, used up, discarded. Ray, Sal, Buzz. I processed them, logged them, marked them acceptable losses, and moved to the next site. His hand found mine in the dark, gripped it with surprising strength. I told myself it was just a job, just following procedure. But I knew. I always knew what we were doing to you boys. His voice broke. I became the machine, grinding you up for parts. For what? More years to remember their faces. I traded my soul for a pension plan that never ends. The silence stretched. His breathing rattled. They're not coming for us, he said finally. Matter of fact, Joseph's already written the report. In 2 hours, cleanup crew arrives. They'll bulldoze the sinkhole, haul off the equipment, mark it geological instability. You'll be buried under 10 feet of fill. And then we're both dead. I am. You don't have to be. He fumbled in his jacket with shaking, bloody fingers. Pulled out a stone. Smooth, polished, smaller than the raw ones we'd been digging up. It gleamed faintly in the darkness. This one's mine. Been mine since '56, West Virginia. First one I ever found. I recoiled. I don't want it. It's not about want. It's about survival. His grip tightened on my wrist. The stones bond to you over time. Extended contact creates a link. This one's kept me alive 70 years, but it's not magic. It's a loan. Every day of youth, every moment of strength. Borrowed against the debt that comes due. He pressed into my palm. Cold. So cold it burned. You take it from me. It severs the bond. I age fast. It'll kill me. But for you, it'll give you enough strength to dig out. Enough time to decide what kind of man you want to be. I can't. You can, and you will. Because the alternative is dying here with me. And I'll be damned if I drag another kid down. His voice was steel underneath the weakness. Take it. Run. Start over. Or end up like me. Your choice. The moment the stone settled into my palm, it activated. Not warm, cold. A needle of ice shot my arm, into my chest, wrapping around my spine like wire. My muscles tightened. Fibers reinforcing, becoming denser, stronger. My heartbeat slowed, became metronomic, efficient. The panic, the desperation, the fear, all of it filed away as irrelevant data. I was stronger, but I was also hollow. It wasn't the high Plato described, it was mechanical clarity. My body moved with purpose, but my mind was a passenger. Stone didn't empower me, it optimized me. I wasn't Thomas anymore. I was a tool wearing Thomas's face. And Koke was aging, fast. I watched wrinkles deepen into crevasses, hair whitened, thinned, fell. Eyes clouded over like milk, skin sagged, liver spotted, translucent. In 30 seconds, he went from looking 40 to looking like a 100-year-old corpse. He smiled, ghastly, relieved. Finally, he whispered. A day off. He died. The beam on his chest no longer mattered. I moved without thinking. The stone's cold logic directed me. I gripped the beam that had killed him, oak, waterlogged, 300 pounds minimum. I lifted it. My muscles didn't strain, they functioned. I tossed it aside like cardboard, and then I dug. Hands clawing through earth, pulling away timber, wrenching aside rocks. No fatigue, no pain, just relentless mechanical progress. My hands bled, I didn't notice. My fingernails cracked and tore, irrelevant. I was machine solving a problem. Exit. Upward. Now. After what might have been an hour, time felt slippery. My hands broke through to open air. I pulled myself out into the ruins of the camp. The hole was quiet. The forest was quiet. The sun was setting. Hours had passed. I stood there, covered in dirt and Koke's blood. Stone cold and heavy in my pocket. The clarity was already fading, leaving me shaking, nauseated, aware of what I'd just done. I hadn't escaped. I'd tunneled out like an animal. I heard engines, voices. I dug behind the wreckage of the mess tent. A small convoy, 2 trucks, 6 men in unmarked work gear. No company logos, no names. Just efficient, silent labour. They were salvaging the generator, Koke's equipment, anything valuable or incriminating. Jim was cable tied to a tree near the trailhead. Alive, but broken. Face swollen, shirt bloody. Not struggling. Just staring at nothing with empty eyes. Joseph stood over him, speaking into his phone. That same clinical tone. Carly photographed the sinkhole, taking notes, documentation, liability mitigation. Plato helped the crew load equipment, moving with eerie efficiency. He glanced at the sinkhole once. No emotion. I was already forgotten. Seal the sinkhole, Joseph instructed the crew. Standard fill. Market subsidence, not collapse. Permits are filed. A worker nodded, started a bulldozer. Joseph into his phone. 2 losses, acceptable parameters. Thurberg 7G is closed. Relocate remaining assets to Lassen 4A. Timeline 72 hours. I was crouched 20 yards away in the shadows. I could try to free Jim, rush Joseph, scream for help. But the stone's logic was still in my veins, whispering in cold, rational tones. You will die. You will fail. You have no leverage, no allies, no proof. You have one advantage. They think you're dead. For just a moment, Jim's gaze drifted toward my hiding spot. Maybe he saw me. Maybe he didn't. His lips moved, forming silent words. Run. I did. I melted back into the tree line, moving silently. The stone's residual strength guiding my steps. Behind me, the bulldozer's engine roared to life. I didn't look back, and I didn't think for a moment about Plato anymore. Fuck him.